So yesterday we solved equations using addition and subtraction. So if I had something like that, I want my variable by itself. I have plus 72. So I'm going to the inverse operation of minus 72 because addition and subtraction are inverse operations. What I do to one side, I must do to the other. So that is how I change my left-hand side of my equation. This is how I change my right-hand side of the equation. Left-hand side and right-hand side are based on your equal sign. To the left of the equal sign is your left-hand side, to the right of your equal sign is the right-hand side. So on the left-hand side, 72 minus 72 is 0. I'm left with x equals, my right-hand side, I have to do that subtraction. So x equals 17. And if I substitute it in for x into my original equation, that's question mark. That is 89 equals 89. Yep, that checks. So today we're going to look at using multiplication and division. You still want your variable by itself. This is my variable. What's on the same side of the equal sign as my variable? The number 2. How is the number 2 attached to your variable? Through multiplication, because 2 is a coefficient of m. What's the inverse of multiplication? Division. And I do all my division unless it's fractions, like that. I do not use the baby division symbol unless it is a fraction. So on my left-hand side, I have 2 divided by 2, which is 1, and I'm left with my m. Then on my right-hand side, I have 6 divided by 2, which is 3. So once again, I'm going to mark what I do to both sides to make sure I do the same thing to both sides. You are dividing both sides by 2. You are left with m equals 3. So now I'm going to check it. Substitute 3m for m in the original equation. The original equation is 2m equals 6. So I have 2 times 3 equals 6. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 equals 6. Yep, that checks. So I know that's the right answer. Okay, our next problem. I have p over 2 equals 8. P is my variable. I want to get it all by itself. So I'm looking on the same side of the equal sign. On the same side of the equal sign with my p is a 2. How is the p attached to 2? That is division. What's the inverse of division? Multiplication. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. We do not use an x anymore. Since we started doing variables, we better use parentheses or dots. Alright, so on my left-hand side, I have 2 times p over 2, which is 2p over 2, which is p. So on my left-hand side, I have isolated my variable. My variable is by itself. On my right-hand side, I have 8 times 2, which is 16. I did the same thing to both sides. Now I'm going to check it. P is 16, so I'm going to substitute into my original equation. That checks. I know I have the right answer. Alright, hit pause and you do this one. Hopefully you got n equals 5. N is your variable. You want that by itself. On the same side of the equal sign with the n is a 4. The 4 is attached to the n through multiplication. The inverse of multiplication is division. So I did the same thing to both sides. I divided both sides by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. I'm left with n. N equals 20 divided by 4, which is 5. Okay, you do this one by yourself. Hit pause. Z equals 56 on both sides. So I need to see that step in addition to the answer. You should check it. Most of these you can check in your head. Um, your if you don't show your work, it is a 0. Your homework, first, upload the notes you just did. Take a picture of them and upload them. And second, your homework is a worksheet. Show all the steps. So I want to see the multiplication on both sides. I want to see the division.